Midwest, home sweet home in good old Indiana. Place of small towns, cozy families gathered together, and fields of corn and rustic woods. But, like any town, there is a dark underbelly that often goes unnoted. We are part of that darkness. We lurk in the shadows to bring you the best in horror, metal, and stories of the grotesque. This is Blood in the Cornfields.
All right, welcome in, cellar dwellers. I am Marc.
I'm Ivy.
And we are Blood in the Cornfields.
Wow.
Yeah.
We've been busy as fuck.
We have been. We've been busy.
It's been good though. Like, thank you guys so much for allowing us to be doing stuff in the community.
Yes, we appreciate it. And I know we were just talking before we got on, that we have people reach out to us, but I'm still like, oh, that's cool. You know,
like, ooh, people want to talk to little old us.
Yeah, because I don't really get that because, it's you that runs pretty much all social media, right?
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah, so, I don't get those messages, and it's probably a good thing because I'm pretty terrible at that stuff. But, yeah, it's always just, it's nice to hear that, you know? Because, I don't know. How do you know how popular you are out there? You know what I mean? So it's like, hey, because we purposefully keep it local by doing local shit, like local events and local gatherings and I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. We try to, keep it all Midwest based, Indiana if we can. And, hey, you know what was really fucking cool? One of our little majiggies winded up in Lafayette, Indiana.
Oh, that's right. So you randomly saw that? Like the picture?
My niece sent it to me.
She did?
Yeah.
Oh, did you go to Lafayette?
Shut up.
Oh. No, we can scratch that, or am I not supposed to say that?
It's okay. I did plant it. It's okay. I'm a planter.
Sorry, I wasn't rolling with it.
I'm being a dick, so it's okay. No, so here's the real story. I did get to see my niece for my vacation, and we went to Lafayette to Purdue University.
See, I had no idea where you were going with that.
And I did some shameless promotion around there.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
That was pretty much it.
Like Lafayette. I actually played in an old record store.
Really?
Down in Lafayette. Yeah, if memory serves, it was upstairs, and then they take the racks, kind of like Ignition does, and kind of park the season shit.
Nice.
Yeah, so...
I went to a record store there. It looks like they have the capability to do shows there, but I'm not sure. I wasn't there when they were doing shows. Yeah. It looks very bare in there, but it's cool. It's called Black Wax Records. They got this real cool, kind of satanic looking symbol, and I love it. We're located on 666 and a half something Lafayette Street.
Seriously?
I don't think that was real. I think that was a cheeky little joke.
Okay, I was like, what?
I'll show it to you. I love them. The lady there was so nice. I don't remember her name. Thank you though for making me feel welcome.
Lady.
I really appreciate that. You got a cute dog there too.
Sweet. We love the cute dogs.
A cute dog.
Cute dogs.
This is it. This is the place. It was just fun. I really enjoyed going there. It's just real cool. It's real chill. Okay. They told me of a local thrash metal band there in Lafayette called Lucifist.
Lucifist. Okay.
Yeah. So I like their music so far. I was able to listen to them. There's a dog. Yeah.
Oh, that is a cute dog.
That's a cute dog.
That is a cute dog.
So yeah. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed going there and hanging out with my niece and, just discovering the area and the layout of the land. And like I said, shamelessly promoting a lot of arcade bars there.
Really?
Yeah. Oh my God, dude. The arcade bars were phenomenal. There was one that was mostly just for adults. Mm-hmm. Not that it had adult themed stuff, but it had a shit.
It was are they pornocades?
That would have been fucking cool.
That'd be great.
I'd be so into that. But no, they were horror themed pinball sets. There was a Michael Myers one, there was a Jaws one. They had a couple of horror related ones that were really neat that lined the walls.
You'd have liked this place that did pornioke.
Pornioke?
Yeah, you do karaoke with porn playing in the background.
Whoa, where's that at? Is this in Texas?
It was in Texas, yeah. One of the numerous places. I don't know.
Pornioke.
It was right by my work. It could have been Beerland. It could have been Sleazium.
Sleazium?
Yeah, well, it's called Elysium, but we call it Sleazium because it's like this goth bar and everyone is just slutted out to the max.
Slutted out.
just to the max. I mean, things are hanging out or, things are being held up, whatever it may be. Sleazium.
So speaking of slutted out.
Okay.
I'm looking at you.
I was like, where are we going with this? Because I'm like, I'm not a big slut.
But you are, for two reasons. You are going to be Krampus again.
Oh, yes. Good old Mr. K. I can't get away from him.
No,
so
that's your character.
I guess
December.
I guess so. Yes. So I will be doing some Krampus stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully
2 events.
Yes, we do 2 events. The first. Ooh.
Yeah, technically 3, but the first event is First Fridays.
Is it? Oh, yeah, that's right. So you're doing them in order.
Yeah.
Yes, so we actually have a very special First Friday planned.
Yes. That would be December 5th.
Yes.
Downtown Goshen.
Yes. Thank you to Goes By Beer Goddess.
Amanda.
Yes. On, I didn't know if we were doing government names. That's why I withheld. But hey, you just ruined it.
Sorry, I ruined it. I'm sorry.
You ruined her life. Now the government's going to come after her. So.
Damn.
Yeah. But anyway, we have a dying child upstairs. The child who is being stabbed or roasted or basted. I don't know.
I think Casper's fine. He just probably didn't get a toy he wanted.
But he's supposed to go to the supermarket to play with the claw.
He's supposed to.
Well, it doesn't sound like he's making it.
That's probably not going to happen. He hasn't had a nap either. He got back late from church.
Well, all right. Hopefully he's got it all out.
Right?
Yeah, we're doing a toy drive.
Yes.
I have to
go for it.
Need to reconfirm with them, but we're just going to throw it out there anyway.
Yeah.
The Hive Light, I've already talked to them, but I just need to give them that last confirmation. Mm-hmm. We'll be collecting toys around their business, somewhere around there. We're not going to be blocking the front doors and stuff, but maybe in the alleyway right next to it. Yeah, absolutely. But we're going to be collecting toys for First Friday. It's going to probably be cold, but that's all right. I'm going to brave it. Yeah, we will be collecting toys for the Hive Light, and then the Hive Light is going to be donating them someplace, or they'll be partnering with us and we'll all be donating them. I don't know which. It's just better to get a business involved because I don't want to be like, hey, my name's Marc. Donate your toys to me. Give them to me. But if we set up a table and we have our banner in front of a business that is supporting us, it then becomes, not just a creeper.
Yeah, a creeper thing.
Lurking outside downtown. It becomes more legitimized.
Yeah. And also, there's normies out there that don't like to associate horror with Christmas, but yet it's baked into the very fabric of all things Yuletide.
Yeah.
Pagans came first.
Very good movies. But yeah, so we're doing that. First Friday, that'll be fun. Mm-hmm. It's also the tree lighting.
Yes. Please bring, by the way. New toys if you can.
Sure.
Or if you have any that are gently used, gently used. Like you have a kid that literally just said, this was cool for a second. Done. Not broken or anything. You are welcome to bring that in.
Yeah, I always say keep it local and all that stuff. I did hit up Five Below just because I had some other gifts that I was having to get. And I mean, their snacks freaking get me all the time. Mm-hmm. They really do. Those Selena Gomez Oreos.
Oh, yeah.
Bad stuff, man. But yeah, that's where I went and I got some good stuff. So, yes. So First Friday coming up in December. Yep. Look for us right out in front of the Hive Light. Bring toys. I did 3 because we're going to do boys, girls, and general neutral. Yep. That way, you never know who's going to want what. Yep. And then everyone is, taken care of.
Exactly. And then the other thing is immediately after that, on Saturday, we have...
That's right. That's the following day.
Yep. Punko-Vision.
Punko-Vision, yes.
A very punk rock show with Action Adam. So it's a live-ass mixtape, and it should be cool as hell. Featuring the likes of Roger, River Rats, Wrecked Wrens, Elda Lane if you like emo music, Interference Patterns, Dirt Nap Dogma for you metalheads out there, The Distractions for the hardcore punks, and then Hypnaglangia may also have a little something to do, but we don't know when.
That'd be cool.
Maybe we do. We'll see. We also will have a toy drive there as well. So same rules apply.
Yes. Absolutely. Same. Just bring stuff.
Yes, bring stuff, because not only are we helping out the Goshen community, but we will also be helping out the South Bend community as well. Each place is a very big city, and we always have, and during these terrible times, we always have people.
They're doing like food donation stuff too, right?
Yes.
Did I see that?
So for the food donations, you're welcome to go ahead and you can. So if you don't have toys, but you want to donate food, as long as it's non-perishable items, and also it's like if you're going to do baby stuff, like make sure it's nothing that's out of date. Obviously, be kind, understand that. You are welcome to go ahead and bring that in as well. It's mostly through Everett's Treatery that's doing that, but Action Adam's like, yeah, that'd be cool. You can do that too for us.
Which she made me some bomb garlic bread.
Because she's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Love her. Last time I was there, yes, she made me some really good garlic bread in like a little cup thingy or whatever. And I love garlic bread. And she had no clue, because she was just like, when we had her on the interview, was saying like, oh, I hadn't really had, gluten-free food that often. And then she was like, well, like, what do you want? And I'm like, nah, you don't got to make me nothing. She's like, how about garlic bread? And I'm like, have you known me all your life? Because that's probably the easiest thing to say to get me to eat it. It's like, so yeah, funny. Garlic bread. Okay. Garlic bread you found on the floor? Okay.
I'll take it.
Yeah. I love garlic bread. So,
and lastly, with that particular thing, is that we will also be having prizes.
We will be having prizes. Why are we giving them away, shall you say? Are we just giving them away, or is there a competition? Oh, it's a raffle. See, I didn't even know about these things.
Yeah.
I knew we had prizes.
I told you about this before the show.
It was a raffle.
It's a raffle.
Oh.
Because we still got our tickets.
Oh, do we?
Yeah. From the last time. They should be in that bag.
We do, yeah. See, I have everything, but like it's in a room that I
if I don't see it, I don't know.
Yeah. All the stuff just goes into. So, I need to dig that out.
Yes.
One of the other events that we have, what date is Fringe Fest?
So Fringe Fest right now is looking at son of a bitch. What's it say?
We're looking at the ad.
Yep. Give me a second.
I forget. December 13th. How do you describe it's a mixed bag of
everything.
Yeah, who's who, what's what. I will be there doing some Krampus
stuff
type shit. That'll be great.
Yeah, and it'll be at Lang Lab, as far as I know.
It should be.
We will definitely let you know, if we don't have it already, kind of the dates or the times that we'll be looking at. It's still like right now, as of this recording, it's kind of the process of getting things finalized and that sort of thing. But Steve Frito's putting it on.
Yeah.
Always does a great job. I'm sure we'll get a lineup down the line of what all's going on. I'm sure it'll probably be a 2-day event. We'll see. But we'll let you know as soon as we know what night you're performing.
That's true. Yep. Yeah, I don't know. That's right, because it's like a weekend thing.
Yep.
Shit, I don't know. I'll find out. Mm-hmm. Maybe I'll just show up to both. Who knows?
Go for it.
Yeah, who knows? On to the bulk of the episode. We are coming at you with a true crime.
Yes.
As you would have already seen in the title.
Anticipated.
Yeah. So with this one, I mean, it literally is blood in the cornfields. I mean, this is a case that happened, in our backyard, right here in Elkhart.
Yep.
Before we get into it, so want to kind of touch base, because there's been some things going on that, just really have me really just so pissed off at humanity. I don't know if you ever heard of the case, but, I believe it's Amber Check, girl out of Minnesota at work that was murdered, 20 years old, murdered by a gentleman with a sledgehammer.
Jesus Christ.
In full view of everything and everyone at work.
It's pretty personal.
That's insane. You want to know his reason?
What's his reason?
He didn't like her.
Jesus Christ. What?
Yeah. So,
okay.
That's kind of, because I'm doing true crime stuff more. I have another one that I'm working on and looking into, but they're just I don't know. Like and so, you know, with algorithms and shit, like when I'm researching it, I'm getting more of it. And like just this one, yeah, like it happened in Minnesota just, I want to say like 2 days ago or something. Yeah. Guy had planned it, just took out a 20-year-old with a sledgehammer. Fucking disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Like I can't even believe that another human being would fucking do that to someone, you know? And just because you dislike them.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's the thing I hate about these true crimes is I struggle with just like coming away with them fucking hating humanity. Yeah. And a lot of people just, it's absolutely disgusting.
Well, there's a lot of that going on. Hell, in Elkhart, like I think it was like November 14th, there was a terrible shooting that happened as kids were getting on a school bus.
Yeah,
But it wasn't like directed at the kids. It was two adults.
Yeah. You know, shootings are one thing, but taking a sledgehammer to someone...
It's more personal, you know?
Is just, yeah.
I mean, I think either one's personal.
Oh, absolutely.
But, like, I don't know, there's something... It's almost like the whole... I'm not trying to be light about it, but it's almost like the whole, like, Michael Myers thing. You know, you take a knife, that's more personal because it's like you're actually causing this weapon to be a thing.
Yeah.
Whereas with a gun, it was always meant to be a weapon.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, just to kind of bring that up, because... I'm doing this one different. So first thing you all need to know about this is please subscribe to us now. Please share this episode because it is something that is currently an open investigation.
So it's a cold case.
Yes. And so I really felt drawn to this one for a lot of reasons. But that would be the thing I would say is please, like, this is an open investigation and it's been a cold case for a long time. So please subscribe to us, share it with people that are in this area because the more eyes that we get, the potential better it is. And I'll go into my thoughts on that once I kind of pull this up a little bit. But I got turned onto this, and those of you who can, you know, want to check it out, but there's a podcast called Crime Junkie. Not one that I'd ever watched or followed, but the headline came up, and so I gave it a listen. And it inspired me to look into this case because I was like, holy shit, you know, this is crazy. Like that happened in Elkhart. So without further ado, I will get into the story of Jessica Starr. Mm-hmm. So like I said, if you want to get, you know, a different view from this, but still very similar, check out Crime Junkie. It's a huge podcast. It's like astronomically huge. And I guess the host is like from Elkhart County, which is kind of crazy.
Okay, so a local person.
Yeah. So let's get into it because this needs some attention. So, like I said, Jessica Starr is the young lady that this episode is about. Mm-hmm. So on August 8th, 2011, in Elkhart, at a personal residence, a boy named Jeff, who was 11 years old, called into 911 shortly after 11:30. I believe it was 11:25. He was inside his home with his mom and I believe his brother. Mm-hmm. So it's my understanding he was in the living room chilling, maybe watching TV or something like that. Okay. So he was expecting his mom's roommate, Jessica, to be coming home any moment.
His mom's roommate?
Yes, his mom's roommate. Okay. Yep. So, there's a 911 call for this. So, like, forgive me, bear with me, guys, because I know the case, but I have my notes as more of a reference. So I'm just kind of reading through this. So, Jeff, the 11-year-old boy, made a call into 911 because he believed that he heard Jessica scream and start running up the deck to the house. So it's a mobile home, and it looks like one that was maybe set up for someone that had wheelchair access. So, like, when you look at it, there's a deck on the left-hand side that goes up and kind of wraps around and leads up to it. Okay. So you'd have to run up a deck a little bit. Okay. So he's on the phone with 911 claiming that he heard what he believed was Jessica scream and then start running up on the deck. But then he also said that it sounded like it got to a point where her mouth was then cupped or covered, and her screams were then muffled. You know, as if someone had covered her mouth. Yeah. After the call, the boy got his mom, and the mom, and I forgot her name.
Jessica's roommate?
Yes. Terry. Terry is the mother.
Okay.
So Jessica is our victim. Terry is the mother of Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
So Jeff makes the phone call to 911 and then goes and tells his mom, Terry, to go get her gun. So then she goes and gets her gun, and then she's standing in the doorway with her gun, shouting for Jessica to figure out also kind of what's going on. But as she opens up the door, she's staring into just blackness. It was just dark. And the house sits a bit off of the road. I don't believe there were like street lights on this section or whatever, but it was very dark. They described it as very dark. At the time, when she stood in the doorway, she did say that she had heard some wrestling in the bushes, almost as if someone was running away.
Mm.
The bushes which would be, so let's say street left, her right.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm.
When the cops then showed up, they did a quick search of the property, and unfortunately they found Jessica in really bad shape. She had bruises on her arm. And so I'll say this next part because I've read different parts.
Okay.
And I think in local news it was claimed that she was stabbed.
Okay.
Through the true crime junkie who she actually talked to the family. She says that her throat was slit.
Okay.
I believe her throat was slit. I looked in to try and find a coroner's report, couldn't find it. Irrelevant. It doesn't really, it does matter because that's something that she would have had to go through, but whatever. She was stabbed in some way that it did, end up unfortunately causing her death. Mm-hmm. And by the time the cops had showed up, it was already too late. She had passed away. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to kind of break this down for details about the case because the whole point of this episode is that hopefully there's two things.
Yeah.
Hopefully this can stimulate some attention,
right?
Because it is a cold case since 2011. Mm-hmm. But then also I'm going to express some viewpoints because I know this town, someone knows something. Mm-hmm. And the way that I'll go into this, it's too much that someone knows something. So I would pray that someone would hear this episode and hear what I have to say throughout all of this. So that's my other intention. So we're going to go over the details. So first detail I put of significance is it was so dark in the entryway for the house. Remember, Terry's in the
right,
the entryway for the home, and it's dark. She said that she could see where Jessica's car was, but that was about it. Mm-hmm. But just like kind of the shadow of it. Well, it was so dark because the porch light that is always on, according to Terry and her son Jeff, had either been removed or unscrewed. I've read it in both. I've read it as totally removed. I've read it as unscrewed. It's funny. The local media, I think, is downplaying shit. And the reason why I say I think they're downplaying it is because the local media is the one that said stabbed, and then the local media is the one that said unscrewed. Mm-hmm. True crime junkie, where she's not as scared and she's more telling it like it is, says that her throat was slashed, but then it also says that someone had removed the light.
Right.
I found that interesting. Weird. But anyway, someone premeditated enough that they either removed or unscrewed the light. Mm-hmm. So definitely show that this shit was completely planned. The other thing of note is the mother, Terry, who was inside the home, slept with a loud fan on. Didn't hear anything. Her son heard because he was out in the living room. Mm-hmm. So I thought that definitely kind of has some significance. Jessica's car, so she had arrived home at 11:25.
Okay. She
had parked on the right-hand side of the home. Mm-hmm. And the, kind of got out, and the attack took place at her car. Mm-hmm. So her car was found, door ajar, groceries still inside, and the mud was stirred up. Mm-hmm. Like that was the initial place where the attack took place, but no blood was there. Mm. So that's significant because if you remember, she was stabbed,
right,
or her throat was slit. This is the other part that's really makes this case unique. There was a large size branch, not a boy, a large size branch found in the yard right by her vehicle The branch was almost in size of a baseball bat.
Okay.
So a good-sized branch. People speculate that it came from a brush pile in the back of the house, which is interesting. So I'll go about the next one, and then we'll talk about that a little bit more. The other weapon was a knife that was brought to the scene. So we've got a branch and we've got a knife.
Okay.
So we're going to kind of take a second there and stop to talk for a second. So thinking about this case, so I'm thinking of, there's a couple things. I believe she was attacked right when she got out. Then she ran away. Someone overpowered her, was able to silence her. And then I believe that's when the struggle took place. They could not control her. They panicked, and then they killed her.
Yeah.
That's what I think happened. But the weird part is, why do you grab a branch when you already have a knife? So the branch you would take to incapacitate them, potentially kidnap, or a sexual assault.
Yeah, that's my initial thought.
Things that come to mind.
Like, okay, so the branch, okay, let's put it this way. Here's a couple of my thoughts. And, these are just thoughts.
That's the whole point of why I'm doing it this way.
Is basically, okay, a branch came from a pile somewhere else. So somebody knows the layout of the land and has premeditated this for a while. They kind of mapped out the place, all this other stuff.
They knew that the light would be on.
So it sounds like that their initial thought is the knife is maybe a backup plan if the branch didn't work. So they'll have the branch as the initial, weapon to like bludgeon her, like you said, kidnap or sexually assault or whatever. And then, like as soon as she got out of the car to go get her groceries, that's when they attacked her. I would assume maybe trying to swing at her with the branch first, and then like, oh, fuck no, that didn't work. She runs away.
Yeah.
That person's able to strong arm her, get up to her. And then, from that point on, the person just fucking ups and kills her for what reason, I have no fucking idea.
Yeah.
But.
So there's other things in the case that we'll get to that, we'll kind of go back into this scenario. But, when I was reading that, I'm thinking to myself, like, why the branch? To me, that's very significant for this case because one thing. So if I put myself, you're a female, I'm a guy.
Yep.
If I'm going to do something to you, I mean, no offense, Ivy, but I'm not going to need a branch. I'm going to grab you and I'm going to cover your mouth and we're going to wrestle, but I'm not going to grab a branch. Like, I don't need a fucking branch, Like,
you're a big dude.
Yeah. And she has a boyfriend. She has an ex-boyfriend that some people think may have had something to do with it. That's why I say some people think, because nobody's ever been convicted or anything like that. But for me, it also may be like, not to shit talk people from Elkhart because I'm from Elkhart, but it's a stupid move. Like, why would you grab a branch from the crime scene? Like, it just it to me it's telling because I feel like the branch was used to then knock her out so that you could then take her somewhere else for whatever reason, whether that's abduction, whether it's a sexual assault, or whether it's you're planning to try and kill her at another spot. To me, just the branch just doesn't make sense if you're just then going to kill her, because I didn't allude to this, but we'll just get there. She was killed right on the side of the house. She was killed just right there. Maybe 30 feet, 40 feet from where she was initially kind of abducted. So, that's just something that I want y'all to just kind of think about. And, why? That just struck me as so odd. Like why was the branch used? So it's definitely something to think about. We'll kind of get back to it, but to the right of her car, Jessica's car, when she pulled in, there was an area in the grass that it appeared to be matted down. Could have been where someone was laying in wait. Obviously, someone was laying in wait. That could have very been the spot that they were waiting. Her purse was not taken, so that probably rules out robbery. And you don't wait outside a 26-year-old's car to try and rob them. I wouldn't think. If I'm going to rob somebody, I think it would be like a home or I don't know. I'm not a criminal.
I'm not a criminal, but if I were to needed to rob somebody, I mean, first off, 26-year-old seems like the easiest victim.
But what are you going to get from it though?
Their purse.
Right. Yeah, but what kind of money would they have?
I don't fucking know.
I'd be hitting up like old ladies or some shit. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, you could steal their identity. You could do just about anything with that, I guess.
So, yeah, and it just is. We're kind of still getting the whole story out there. So, the other thing I wanted to touch on, and I say this with as much respect or as much disrespect as needed. And I say that because I don't know the story. But from what I can tell and what the family says, Elkhart PD did a shit job. Shit job, from what I'm hearing.
And I legally can't say anything.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not per se saying, because therefore I don't know, but the facts that are presented that I will present to you lead you to believe they probably did a shit job. Anyway, so the night after Jessica was killed, so she was killed at 11:25. I'm assuming probably in anywhere between 5 to 9 p.m. this took place. It was a candlelight vigil. So the next day, people showed up to Jessica, the spot where she was murdered. They, people in the community brought their candles and all sorts of stuff. They were all about the scene. All about the scene. And the family says that her car was never towed. And in fact, that night, people that were there put candles on her car and all sorts of stuff. So, I understand if you clear a crime scene and you work all throughout the night, I understand that. But with the family saying her car was never towed and they've never got confirmation that it ever was, and the fact that it was there the night, you don't just tow a car and then bring it right back within 9 hours?
Wait, okay, hold on. I'm sorry. Me of little simple mind, but... Okay, so the car obviously was never towed. It stayed there. At the crime scene. My whole thing is, okay, that's sweet of everybody to do the whole vigil and everything like that the next night. But isn't that a crime scene? Why the fuck is people around it, and why are they fucking
So it was never taped off, is what I was getting at. You asked the exact question I was setting you up for.
That would be my first thing is, why the fuck would you not tape this off or tell people, hey, go gather fucking somewhere else?
So... And I thought about that, and I did research into it, and ultimately there is no answer for how long a scene takes to be cleared. But it can be as little as hours, it can be as extravagant as weeks and months, depending on the type. And so if they worked all throughout the night, and then they cleared the scene, that afternoon at 2 p.m. or something, to me, that could be plausible.
Well, especially if they took all their, I've been on a couple crime scenes, being a funeral director. So I do know kind of somewhat the protocol. I don't know everything, but I do know they take a lot of pictures. Shit tons of pictures. Archive those things. So it's not just the body. It's going to be literally everything. So assuming that they were able to get specimen samples if they really need to, I don't think that they would. But... of grass or dirt or whatever, DNA samples or whatever. I would think that they would have done all that, especially with the detective and all that, but I can't say that for certain.
And that's what I'm saying. And that's why, I'm not saying per se that Elkhart PD did a bad thing. They may have done their investigation fully, but the thing I am saying is the family very vocally speaks out against Elkhart PD, saying they did a shit job. Again, this is the family saying that they never towed the car, they never fingerprinted the car, they never searched it for DNA, and if they did, the family was never told. Which, that's shitty. Also, Crime Junkie, who has, like I said, they had a plaque for 500 million streams. So she's got a team, she's got all sorts of stuff. They submitted a FOIA request to Elkhart PD that was refused.
Of course.
And then the family says that they literally know nothing. They get brushed off when they try to ask, and this has been since 2011. So, for me, if the car was never towed and never dusted for fingerprints, that's unacceptable. That's completely unacceptable. And again, I don't know if the car was towed or not because we don't have access to the records and Elkhart PD is not releasing them. So, it's just, it sucks. It sucks that the family's left without answers, and they have a daughter that is murdered, and I can't even imagine how that would be. But we have a family that is vocally, speaking out against the job that was done. And the people for the candlelight vigil, they had no clue.
Yeah, they don't know. They're just being kind.
Yeah, and they didn't know.
If I may interrupt you, do we know anything about Jessica Starr? She looks like a very beautiful young
So that's
lady.
what I was going to kind of get into that. She won a pageant. She won like a pageant, like I think it was for high school.
That's what it looks like her obituary picture.
Oh, she's beautiful. She's absolutely beautiful.
It looks like a pageant picture.
Yeah. And she was insanely well liked. Even the comments that I've read, coworkers really liked her. I'll get into more of Jessica and kind of what she did. But yeah, I can't help but that goes through my head. We've got a 26-year-old, really attractive woman. That's kind of sets the stage for some stuff. So, like I'd kind of said, there isn't an average time for what a crime scene takes. So, I give Elkhart PD that, no problem. Like I said, I don't know the details because I couldn't find anything. I can only go by what I heard and what the family is kind of saying. So, who knows? So another thing that was interesting that somewhere down the line, because, you have to remember this is 2011, there was talk of DNA that had possibly been found. Rumors, never anything concrete. And this is up to the episode that I'm referencing for a lot of this stuff was a month ago. Okay. So fairly recent that nothing has been, kind of up there. So Jessica had an ex. They, from what people had said, had been in a toxic relationship. It had been said that he was verbally abusive. However, he denies it, which whatever, we don't know. But there was talks. And of course, that seems like the logical explanation, because the reason Jessica was staying with Terry is because her and her boyfriend, Tavares, broke up. And so she was staying with a friend. Because, apparently they had lived together. Go into a little bit about Tavares, not too much. And the only reason I'm doing this is because nobody's been convicted, but when you're the ex, you're the first one looked at.
Yeah. So no kidding.
They had broke up, from everything I've kind of gathered, a couple months before Jess had moved into Terry's house. Family and friends say that the relationship was toxic. He was verbally abusive, however, not physically. Nothing physical was ever reported that I saw.
So no domestic violence or anything?
No. Well, to the physical aspect. I consider physical, I consider
you still emotional abuse for sure.
So and you can legally say this because he's been convicted. He is a drug dealer and has been a drug dealer. And I believe I saw, I'll just say, because not to give false time, he's doing a serious prison sentence. I've heard different years. All that I saw was over 20 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, yeah, I wrote down 40. I'm not 100% sure if that's correct, but he's doing some serious time. Jessica had 2 jobs. She worked in a factory, for one, and her coworkers have often talked about, and I even saw one of her coworkers put in the comments. The coworker said to the fact of, if you worked with Jessica, you know who did it.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was like, oh, okay.
Looks like, she worked at Dometic and Elkhart.
So the coworkers did not like Tavares. They actually wouldn't let Jessica go out to her car alone. Sounds like a lot of the people either knew Tavares or had heard her complain about the relationship and then just been like, hey, this guy's bad news. At some point, there might have been talk about a restraining order, but none was ever filed. So Tavares was ruled out because the night of the murder, apparently the first place the cops went to was Tavares' house. So I'm only going on what the Crime Junkie episode said because I could not find anything else out. But Tavares was supposedly ruled out because when the cops showed up, he was in bed with another woman. And then they had said that he couldn't, have committed the crime and then been back. And I'm thinking to myself, Elkhart is a fairly small town.
Yeah.
I could go to point A and then turn around and be 20 minutes down the road, point B, changed in bed with some chick. And then they said he appeared to look like he was sleeping when they came over.
Well, and then, if people are tight with other people, I'm sure they could get people to do their crimes for them.
Which is another theory that's been thrown out. And all these are just theories.
Yeah.
Nobody knows. So another thing that's kind of interesting that brings up other theories is a neighbor the night of the murder in a home across the street heard screaming and a woman say, "Well, we got to get out of here."
Oh.
So now we will go back. Two people, a man with a knife and a woman with a branch waiting for Jessica.
Wait, hold on. Sorry.
That makes more sense.
I'm okay, sure, but I'm confused, okay? Sorry, people, if you guys are getting this before I do. Maybe you guys are smarter than me, and that's totally fine because whatever, you're learned. But so let me understand this. If I'm making you repeat yourself, sorry. So somebody in the house across the street.
Across the street, yep.
Said we need to get out of here.
No, heard. Someone in the house across the street heard a woman say,
we need to get
out of here. Heard a woman say, did not say themselves.
Okay. That makes more sense. Okay. Well, shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then there's been that theory thrown around, which that, to me, that makes a lot more sense than I have a knife and a branch.
Yeah. You got two hands, but you don't have enough hands to do the job.
Yeah, well, why do you got the knife if you need the branch?
Yeah.
Why even bring the knife? You know what I mean? But if you're not small, but if you're, a woman or another person, that would make a lot more sense why then you would grab a branch. Because my homeboy's got a knife, I got a branch. In case she breaks free or whatever, I'm going to whap her with it. Whatever it may be, I don't know. But to me, that seems a lot more plausible than, hey, I'm jealous ex-boyfriend. I'm going to, kill her. Let me go get a branch to knock her out first.
Yeah.
That doesn't really make a lot of sense. And also the fact that if you were going to kidnap her, you would then just not even let her really get out of her car.
Yeah.
Or you would cover her mouth, throw her in the car, pull away and drive off.
So the bitch that was saying with the branch, that is again speculation. Bitch with the branch.
So somebody.
We're just gonna put it that way. The bitch with the branch had the branch and was gonna potentially knock her out or spook her or whatever, or maybe get her to run in the direction of the assailant with the knife.
Something. To me, the fact that the only reason I'm really doing all this is to just stir curiosity.
Yeah. Bring
up, this poor girl, what she went through. I don't know jack shit. I'm not an investigator. I'm not anything. Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to make sense of this and put this out so that maybe a family member hears. Maybe, we'll get into it. The real reason is I want the person, because I fully believe with all of my being that there are people out there literally right now that know what happened.
Yeah.
I believe that. 100%. And with that being said, you have a murder of a young lady on your hands, because if you know information and you don't say anything, then that is energy that is absorbed by you in one way or another that you're going to have to deal with at some point, whether you're the person who committed the crime or whether you know. Mm-hmm. I believe that energy transfers to us all the time and daily. And I try to live my life not inflicting as much negative energy as I can, because I believe that when you pass on, you experience the negative energy you've put out in this world tenfold. That's just my beliefs. I don't know what you believe, but
that's pretty close.
If you are listening to this and you knew something and have known something, that is on you. You deal with that. You're going to deal with it. Like every, action has an equal and opposite reaction. There's energy all around us. Do you think for one moment that that energy just doesn't exist and that there's nothing after this? You're banking on that there's nothing, when you die, cold black, nothing else. If so, hey, great. you knew about a murder and you never talked about it. If you're willing to roll the dice on that, but then what if there is anything else? And I'm not even talking like necessarily heaven, because we don't know. There could be energy fields that the veil of this world then falls, and now we're experiencing a whole nother realm that just is not even imaginable. You never know. There's an infinite amount of possibilities that could happen the moment you die.
Yeah.
The only scenario which you can even call that person wins is if there's just black and bleakness and there's nothing. It's like when you go to sleep. Yeah. Okay, fine, person. Then if you're banking on that, then fine, you do you. But if not, if there's something else, you will have to atone for it.
Yeah, 100%.
I am 1,000,000% convinced of that. And not even to mention the person that caused this murder and caused this harm. Mm-hmm. If you never atoned for that and you pass on when you pass on, because we all do.
Yep.
What are you going to be staring? I hope that she is the first person you see.
Ooh, yeah.
I hope that she's the first person. All those people that are in this community that know and haven't said anything, I hope she's the first person that you see. And I hope that she looks into your eyes and she transports the energy that was inflicted upon her into you. And you experience being murdered in front of, your friends in whatever vicious way she was murdered. That thought gives me goosebumps.
Yeah, it did. Holy shit.
I hope that happens. And I hope that someone listens to this and realizes that she was my age. I'm guessing the people she ran with were my age. Mm-hmm. I'm not really that close to death if I can help it. So you person out there who knows something, you have fun living the next 30, 40 years with that guilt. And then when you pass on, good luck to what's going to be there for you. Because I believe that there's shit that you got to atone for. I have my own shit in my past. Nothing ever even remotely close to this, and I'm very thankful for. But I've accepted that I've caused someone harm, and I will atone for that when I pass on. I'm fully prepared for that. I've said my own apologies, but I will. That's my cross to bear.
Yep.
That's the real reason I'm doing this episode, is because I hope this finds someone who knows something. I hope that someone knows. And if they're not choosing to tell, just my input and the fact that what I believe is energy transfer. And I believe that can't just go away. Like I'll give you examples. So I come from a sports background. Momentum, I believe, is an energy transfer. It starts out small and then it gains and gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And part of it is psychological. Part of it is energy. It's the only way I can describe it.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of things that we encounter in a daily basis. Gravity. We can't feel it, touch it, smell it, sense it, but it's there. How do we know it's there? Well, we know it's there because someone told us. If someone would have never told us, we would have never even understand what gravity is. It just would be a thing. It just would be a thing that is part of this world that we would never even know or understand. We know because we're told. Do you think that that's the only thing out there that you can't see, touch, smell, or taste or hear? I am willing to wager that there are a trillion things out there on the other side, in this side, that we just don't know about. Sorry, I'm getting really deep, but
it's fine.
I'm really passionate about this because I try to live my life not creating ripple effects and not creating bad energy. Because first of all, I believe it's going to come right back to me. If it doesn't in this life, it's going to in the end. Like, I just don't think that you can go out on the street and you can murder someone, smash their head in with a sledgehammer, and then just be like, that's it. And even if you were to kill yourself and then you die, I don't think that's just that's it. You can't just do something like that and have that just be it. There has to be something else that happens. And whatever that something else is, I'm certainly not going to wager my energy on that. That's why I'm going to try, and why we say, look out for each other, and why we do a lot of the things we do. This podcast puts those people's names out, Jessica's name out there, so that way their memories live on. And so that way they can never be forgotten. And if this episode is another way for you to remember her, and for those of you who worked with her or saw her in the community or went to school, then great, celebrate her. Keep her photos up. Yes, do different things. It's been what, almost 5 years since Blake passed away. I don't even know. I try not to keep track of it. And then I'm talking to you about trying to get his ashes in a necklace. I'm doing these things. Like, I'm not just saying this shit,
Right.
That's why we have this podcast. I think about Blake every day.
Mm-hmm.
I talk to his kids. I bought them Christmas presents early. I know they don't listen to it, but it just, I don't know. And there's more stuff to why I kind of got in that rant, but that's the main thing of this is like, if you are one of those people that knew something or did it, you really should try to alleviate the negative energy to maybe soften the blow with whatever you deal with at whatever point in time.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't atone for it, good luck, because I would be willing to bet a lot of money that she will be waiting for you and she will transport her energy of what you did to her into you, and you will experience every agonizing second of it.
If not her, something will.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's just it's not too perfect. Or what if you come back as, I don't know, something atrocious? How terrible would it be to be a tree? Someone rips off your branch. Mm-hmm. Isn't that like Dante's Inferno or something like that you come back as a tree or something? I don't know. But, or like be a little bug that like just
gets stomped
lives
on
for 2 days. Yeah. And then just dies. Or whatever it may be. I don't know. That's just one scenario.
It's reincarnation.
There's an infinite amount of possibilities. And the scary part is I think they're all one. I think every little scenario, infinite possibility is all one.
I may be Catholic, but I do have there's a little part of me, and I don't care what religion you go by or whatever.
Sure.
There's a little part of me that thinks all these major religions are all somehow connected.
Oh, absolutely.
And like there's too many little things that are so much alike that it's like I'm feeling everything's connected somehow, and you best be careful whatever the fuck you're doing.
So I think we're shown it every day. Yeah. And what I mean by that is when you sit there and you look at ants and you're like, oh, like you're going to go get the food or, you're going to do this or whatever. And you're like, wow, you walked across this whole counter and that looks like in human scale, it would be, I don't know, about a mile. You must be tired or whatever. But you're sitting there and you're watching ants and an understanding of the world that they could never have a concept of.
Yep.
Who's to say that we're not the ants?
Exactly.
And there's another level above us. And even more so, what if there's 187 levels above us?
Yeah, you really want to...
Like, you want to bank on that? Like, you're okay with that. You're okay with saying, man, I'm putting all my eggs in the basket that there's nothing else, anything. I mean, we're talking infinite things. I'm not just talking God. I'm not just talking heaven.
Right.
I'm talking infinite possibilities. Maybe you come back as a Martian on Mars. Huh. But you know what I mean? So you're banking on that fact, or you person who knows something, who has never said anything. Fucking good luck to you, man. Good fucking luck to you. I hope to God you see her, whatever that is, and I hope that she can instill that energy onto you. And if you want to deal with that, fucking go right ahead. Go right ahead.
Now, to get back to, no,
sorry,
I know
I'm ranting. I'm pissed off. This makes me so fucking mad. Thing. And, this makes me so mad.
What I'm doing is I'm getting back to the positivity of it. Like Marc said, if you knew Jessica, or even if you didn't and this story somehow inspired you, one of the things that I'm going to encourage you guys to do is that go read her obituary.
Sure.
It is on Wagner Funeral Home's website, Wagner Family Funeral Homes in Michigan. My particular funeral home has worked with them in the past. I know they're good people.
And I've got more about her. I just didn't get to that because I was pissed.
No, that's okay. But take the chance to read over her obituary. We might have a chance to either put it up or read it or have it in the description or something. But if you knew her, put something on her tribute wall. There's literally a section here. Of course, whatever you put up there, it's probably going to go through a filter, or somebody that administrates the thing is going to look over it. But put something up there, because honestly, there's only one comment. And that was back in 2025 with a lady who in October who must have heard that episode.
Yeah.
And said something. But other than that,
maybe people
there
don't
wasn't
know what's
anything else.
I admit I did not look at the obituary. Mine never even went there.
Well, funeral director, that's
absolutely,
my first
thing.
So
yes, absolutely. Go and there's more too. So there's I do have a method to my madness. So
I understand.
We'll get there, and you'll see what I'm saying here in a minute. So a little bit more about Jessica. Shortly before her murder, she worked for a legal department, and she would work with victims of domestic violence. And now, if again, I'm on a time crunch. I don't have a team to investigate. I work a job. I also do a lot of shit outside of work. So I try to investigate these as best as I can with the time that I have. So when she was 18, there was an incident where, and I don't know if they were dating. I don't know if it was an ex or whatever, but she was attacked as an 18-year-old.
Oh, God.
By a gentleman with a tire iron. And then the kid got arrested at school and didn't even change. Apparently still had blood from her on him at school and stuff.
What the fuck?
But anyway, so I think that she had a picture of herself at some point in recovery, and she would show victims of domestic abuse that, and then use that as hey, I was there and look where I'm at now. That nice. Sort of thing. Yeah. Some other aspects of this to give you more information about Jessica. So one of the sad parts is her mother died. I believe I wrote down a month. I don't remember if that's accurate, and I just got it misunderstood. A month to 6 months, we'll say.
After?
I think, passed away after Jessica, her daughter, died. Her father passed away last year, but like any father dealing with their daughter being murdered, it was explained that he did not take it well. Yeah. He was pissed off at the police and was doing his own investigation, had notebooks of information that he never got answers. So, that's another thing I want to explain too, is you didn't just kill Jessica. Her mom had some health issues and concerns, but would she have died so soon?
Right.
That energy tainted her. Her father sounds was never the same, and I wouldn't be the same.
If I didn't know what the hell happened to my daughter or my son, absolutely.
And then you caused a father to probably lose his freaking mind, and really just question probably everything about himself. There's the guilt for that, and then that's not even to mention, once you get to that other side, it's not just her energy you're going to have to deal with. You're going to have to look at a mom's energy. You're going to have to look at a father's energy. Why would you even risk that? That sounds horrible.
Right.
But anyway, I won't get back into my rant.
It's all right.
One other thing with kind of what you were going with, writing on the obituary, her family has donated to Safe Haven, Elkhart County. The Crime Junkie has also helped donate. So if any of you want to make a donation in her name or in the family's name,
that's wonderful.
Safe Haven, Elkhart County would be where you do that. They had said that they had gotten 4 truckloads full of donations, which is insane.
Wow.
That's pretty crazy. So, that would be something to do. But ultimately, my goal is, please, people, like I said, subscribe to this and share it. When you subscribe, you boost the numbers. Therefore, more people can get to see it. It's not some shameless fucking plug. I don't care about us. The whole reason we have this podcast is because of loss and celebrating them and getting their names out. So the more you subscribe, take out the fact that it could influence the case. Do I think it's going to influence the case? My God, I would be so happy if it did. It's any little shot. It's any little thing that we're trying to do. It's an open case. You never know. Everyone has a Hail Mary. Maybe this one lands. Crime Junkies got a huge audience. That stirs things up. I'm referencing that because, go listen to her more professional style and less fuck you and I don't like people and I'm cursing you with what you may receive on the other side.
Right. That's good on you.
That's more my style anyway. So check out Crime Junkie with the episode, but talk about it. Bring this up. Bring the case up to people. Go research it. Go look. Just talk about it. But that's my thing is I want so badly for this episode to fall on someone's ears who knows what happened and for them to listen to what I believe. And if they don't believe it, that's fine. Go ahead. Put all your eggs in that fucking basket. But if you're wrong, you have fun with that. You have fucking fun with that. Because that's going to be shit-tastic. That's going to be fucking terrible. So that's my point. That's why I wanted to do this case. in hopes that, it finds someone. And that something's done. I have a cold case in my family that was solved. It was solved years later by DNA. Maybe there is some DNA, Yeah. That man was already in prison, and that's why his DNA was on file. It was a cold murder case. So, like, my adjacent family, it's still my family, and I know about it when I was kind of young. That stuff just, it deserves to be answered, and maybe that person can take some of the crime and cancel out some of that negative energy here in this world, so that maybe you're able to soften the blow for you in the next. Yeah. Maybe, but I think it's probably, I would rather bet that. Mm-hmm. And like I said, the person's probably my age. Mm-hmm. I don't plan on going anywhere for a while. When you're in your 40s, that's still pretty young for nowadays standards. So yeah, good luck. You got a lot of life left to deal with that horse shit.
Yeah.
So
yeah, if you can, please make a donation to Safe Haven. Mm-hmm. Looks like we'll put up a link. It looks like the shelter might also have a wish list.
That's awesome.
If you can make a donation there, that would be great. I know we'll try to do our best to make a donation in Jessica's name.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe it's something we can, kind of in the future see. I mean, I don't know if they'll be okay with all the fuck yous and
blood in the cornfields, but it's in the name. But
listen, I'm a nice person, but like
we are pretty nice people for the most part.
Yeah, but I mean, we're talking about either someone that killed or took part in a murder, or someone who knew something and never said anything. Yeah. You're a piece of fucking shit. Yeah. If you are one of those categories,
fuck you.
Yes, you are a big turd sandwich.
More than that, but
with cat litter on it. There you go. Yeah. You have nothing to say for that.
Well, because I'm thinking of worse things.
I know. I'm trying to keep it good because it is what it is. But in all seriousness, the other aspect of it is, please, hopefully, family of her isn't pissed off at anything I've said. Mm-hmm. I hope that she bringing her up.
Yeah, she does have a brother that's still with us.
Yeah, Frank.
Yep.
I kind of left them out because I have not. Yeah. I don't have the time to reach out to them. If they want to reach out to us, feel free. I'm not trying to bring that shit back up.
No.
That's the other thing too. I am so scared to death of trying to contact one of these families because I do not want to steer up the shit.
And
if they incidentally hear this episode, that's one thing.
If they want to reach out to us, that's always fine. Yeah. But the biggest thing is look, we just want to raise awareness. Mm-hmm. We want to honor your daughter, your sister. We want to honor
your friend, your coworker. There's so many people that knew her still in this community that are probably going to hear this.
I just wish we knew more about her. Yeah. I would love to hear more about her stories. Her obituary was rather short.
I know.
Wasn't much about her except, where she worked and, how she was known in the community, which is awful sad. But then again, if family either wrote it or if they chose to keep it as simple as can be, that's totally fine. Because I bet they were fucking tired of people getting bombarding them on the media.
The thing I can say with 100% confidence is she was well liked. Yeah. I've seen and read so many things. She was really well liked. I believe that she was a good person. It doesn't matter if she wasn't, but being 26 to have your life brutally taken away
for no fucking reason.
For no reason. Even if you feel that there was a reason, there's not.
Off. There probably wasn't.
There's not enough for that. Not enough.
Not enough to be killed.
No. But at 26 to just then have your life taken away, and I hope that the realm that we move on to, whatever it is so awesome that it makes you actually being on Earth really trivial. Because that's one way I look at life. Is it's like, if someone were to be murdered, or I'll just take Blake in my case. Blake had a lot of things that he had stuffed away that kind of created the person that he was, and caused him to do a lot of the things that he did. And I hope that the realm that he is in now is like 1,000,000 times better than Earth. And Earth is looked at as like, the shit place. Like,
that
like
was,
you have to go through that in order to win the prize.
It had some good days, had some bad days, but
but to me that makes it okay to understand, like, yes, someone was murdered and someone experienced a high level amount of pain and discomfort and agony and terror and rage and all this stuff. But to me, it only makes it acceptable if the place we go on to is a million times better. And they're like, dude, I'm fine. Like, yeah, that happened and it sucked for that like 3 minutes or whatever.
Or however long it took.
Yeah. But the place that you're at now is like a million times better, That's kind of how I justify a lot of the crazy things in this world, is that like there is a price to be paid for those that want to fuck around. And there is a reward that is given to people that are, that have that negative energy inflicted unwanted upon them, whether that's death, whether it's whatever it may be, that it makes it just all trivial. Like, it's like, dude, it's like, cool. It's like it's a bad day that you had 9 years ago. Yeah. It's kind of how I rationalize it in my head. You're like, oh yeah, that day sucked. Like, dude, I don't even remember it. Like, that was 9 years ago. Oh. Like, nah, what the fuck? I'm totally like doing this or that or the other thing. To me, that's how I look at life. So that's how I kind of rationalize that. And I hope that the family can adapt a logical thinking like that, because I think it's the right path. And that's what I hope. I hope that your daughter's murder is like a memory that was a bad day 9 years ago for her. And now she's someplace that's a million times better and she don't even care. She don't even care because she's like, dude, that was actually the shit place. I'm at the really cool place. So for me, if you're having a bad day, just maybe justify it like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Sweet. And what we always say every episode, and please remember it. Look out for each other, and good night, cellar dwellers. Be safe.
Bye-bye. Don't be a shitbag.
With kitty litter.
Yeah.